Hey guys, it's YOU WACK, and welcome back to the third episode of this mini-series that I even forget about sometimes, where I take two similar heroes, similar in role, and I pair them head-to-head and decide what is the better out of the two, or most efficient out of the two, because I feel like every single hero has at least some shining moments in Overwatch that can't be outshined by other heroes. Sometimes those shining moments are more prevalent, but nonetheless, every single hero is special. But for today's episode, we're going to be looking at what I feel like are the two most popular primary healers for Season 12, and that is going to be Mercy versus Ana. Now, I've been making a whole lot of videos talking about Ana, discussing her and how she is meta. You need to be careful with her though, but nonetheless, she's going to be very popular here in Season 12. And Mercy, on the other hand, she's just always been popular. She's been broken, she's been meta, she's been around the block, right? There's not ever really been a time where Mercy wasn't really the go-to healer, except for maybe during the World of Tank meta with like Lucio and all these big beefy tanks. So I figured now would be the perfect time to really bring this kind of video because, well, when you look at Mercy, even though she did receive a nerf, she's still this big, powerful hero. But are some of those aspects going to be outshined by what Ana has to bring to the table, especially now right after her buff? That is why this is going to be a perfect video to bring right now. And the way that we'll compare both Ana versus Mercy is going to be based on 5 different categories. And those 5 categories are going to be positioning, heals, toolkit, followed by their ultimates, followed by their team compositions. Usually I would have like DPS and counter list here, but for the past couple of videos we've been looking at offense heroes, and here we're looking at 2 healers, and we're not going to really be worried about offense for either of these heroes, even though they can be, especially Ana. She can be a viable offense healer, but we're looking at the primary healer role. When you're picking a team composition, you're picking both of these heroes because of their primary heal abilities, and that's what we're more or less going to be focusing on in this video. So let's get right into the positioning for both of these heroes. First, let's discuss Ana's position, because this is one thing that I constantly see a lot of Ana players do, and I still don't understand it, and that is getting in front of your team, or just standing at the front lines. And like, I get it, you want to see the action, but here's the thing, you're the primary healer, okay? Everyone's gonna be going after you, alright? Everyone's gonna be targeting you, so why would you put yourself on a... Oh, it's just, you can see I'm passionate about it. So what I feel like is the best positioning for Ana is not only placing yourself behind your team, but placing yourself behind these big, beefy, heavy tanks. 2 big benefits with this. 1, you get to heal your freaking tanks, all right? There's this big target, right? Literally like 2 inches. You could tickle them and whatnot. So they're literally right in front of you. So you can easily heal them without needing to scope in. But the second reason, or the second benefit rather, is that you get protection from the enemy team. Because let's say like a Genji or a Tracer, which is 2 popular flank heroes, are focusing you, which is probably going to happen, well, you have this big Reinhardt, this big diva, you have this big meat shield right here that also has a big heavy weapon that can protect you. But the best way that I see when positioning yourself with Mercy is literally all over the place without needing to put yourself in danger's way. You know what I'm trying to say? Because if you're just constantly just being stationed, not moving around, not flying from hero to hero, not only are you not going to be able to heal your team, but you're also going to be like a sitting duck because you're not mobile. If you're constantly moving, the Tracer and the Genji is not going to be able to focus you. That's what I feel like is the best quote-unquote positioning for Mercy, but also definitely for Ana. You just want to be behind as much people as possible. Mercy, be constantly moving and changing positions. But now let's look at the healing category for both of these primary healers, because normally I would take this time to talk about DPS, but again, we're looking at 2 primary healers. You're not really going to be focusing on DPS with either of these heroes, but there are times and places where you do need to give off some DPS. Yes, even for Mercy. But let's look at Ana and the kind of healing that you're going to be giving off with her, because again, this is going to be very important when deciding what kind of healer you need to pick and deciding between the 2, because you might think, oh, well, you just need to heal everyone, which is true, but especially with Ana. Ana is the kind of hero that's going to be excelling with big, giant, beefy tanks. Not only because these big, giant targets can protect you, but also because it can build your ultimate charge. I'm not saying to ignore the squishy heroes or to count them irrelevant because, oh, they don't help my ultimate charge, but really try to hone down on being able to focus and heal your big giant tanks because they're going to benefit from it and you're going to benefit from healing them too. It's kind of like a duh statement right there, but that's the biggest difference that I see when picking what kind of healer you need between Ana and Mercy. Okay, well, we're running triple tank. Ana really excels here, and I'm going to be able to heal them a whole lot faster than if I were to play Mercy. Where Mercy, on the other hand, can really keep up with these faster team comps. This is a big deal when picking Mercy because if you have a fast team comp, let's say like a Soldier, a Tracer, and and a Pharah, and some people kind of cringe at that, like, ooh, 30 DPS, I don't know about that, but it's not the worst option. Let's say like a Lucio and a D.Va. You're not really going to have those long extended periods of healing where Mercy kind of has a downfall when compared to Ana, because Ana can just pew, 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 where Mercy takes a little bit of time. But since you have smaller health pools, as shown with the 3 DPS, this is where Mercy's going to be excelling because she can heal them in relatively quick fashion, but also keep up with them, being able to fly from hero to hero, heal them, and go to the next hero. So out of the two healers, who gives the better heals? And I don't want to say it depends, even though I kind of just said that, so I'm really going to go with Ana, assuming that you can hit your shots, because even in fast team comps, if you know how to hit your shots with Ana, that's going to be good because she gives it in a rapid session. 70, 70, 70, boom, boom, boom. All right, on the next hero, boom, 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 boom. Where Mercy, it's sort of like babysitting. It's like, okay, honey, let's take a breather. Let me heal you. Are you good? Okay, I'm going to go to the next hero. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye, take care. Okay, that kind of thing. Where Ana, she's just boom, 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 always on it, assuming you can hit your shots. But now let's talk about the toolkit for both of these heroes, because these are the defining factors that's going to help you determine what kind of primary healer you want to play for a certain situation. Because I feel like Ana's toolkit, the Sleep Dart and the Biotic Grenade, no self-health regeneration, is more team-oriented, because you have the Sleep Dart, which can really help your team knowing that, alright guys, if a Pharah ults us, as Genji or a Soldier ults us, I'm going to be able to sleep them. Get ready for it, but try not to use a panic ult. And then the Biotic Grenade, that is so helpful because there is nothing in the game, I've ranted about this so many times, there is nothing in the game that can ensure that the enemy team cannot heal, but your team has to be ready to focus that enemy that is antied. I always treat the Biotic Grenade kind of like a Discord orb because, well, if they're a sitting duck, they're an easy kill. I often use this on like a Roadhog because he can't self-heal, and also he can't receive any heals, so he's probably playing aggressive, anti him, boom, focus him, there's an easy kill right there. But one last thing you need to worry about on his toolkit is that she is the only healer that technically doesn't have a self-health regeneration as long as you're not splashing your Biotic Grenade, because that is the, please do not waste your Biotic Grenade on yourself. Ask your secondary healer, hey, can you heal me? Ask your soldier even, can you throw down your Biotic Field? Do not waste it because you can be anti-ing the enemy team. That is such a helpful tool if your team's willing to work with it. But Mercy's toolkit, on the other hand, doesn't really take a lot of coordination to get a lot of value out of it, because again, if you splash someone with the Biotic Grenade with Ana, you have to capitalize on that. If your team doesn't know that, then you kind of waste it. But with Mercy's toolkit, being able to fly to your team, being able to pocket them, doesn't take coordination as long as you're ready to, well, recognize what's going on in the situation. Because I don't really need to explain her toolkit. Angelic Descent, Slowly Fall Down, and Guardian Angel being able to be a mobile healer, you need to be able to utilize that a lot. But the defining factor here is going to be her resurrectability. This is what's going to separate herself from other primary healers and possibly put her on the #1 spot. And that's why I'm kind of bringing this video, because a lot of people are going to argue, well, a resurrectability is much more valuable than an anti-grenade. Well, is it? Is it really? I always say the best way to win a team fight is to simply have numbers, not to die, and Resurrect ensures that you will have those numbers. But is it more valuable than that Biotic Grenade? So here's what I'll say. Ana probably has the better toolkit. There is so much value with being able to sleep someone, make them a sitting duck. There is so much value with anti-ing the enemy team. Again, you can splash it on your team and splash it on yourself, but really, the most value that you can get with your grenade is being able to anti the enemy team. That is so valuable. With Mercy, it's very little value. It's consistent value though. Mercy's toolkit is much more valuable if you're on defense, because if you're on like the first point of Temple Anubis and someone dies, you're gonna get so much value because you don't have to wait for that one hero to waste 10 to 15 seconds walking from spawn back into the fight. But Ana just has a lot more opportunity, has a lot more potential and value if your team is ready to capitalize and cash in on that value. But now we need to talk about both of these heroes' ultimate abilities, because this is the defining moment that kind of threw Ana back in contention of the best healer, especially for Season 12. Because out of Nano Boost and Valkyrie, I'm gonna be honest, there's more value with Nano Boost, but for only one hero. Again, this is gonna be extremely valuable in a coordinated team fight, because let's say your Reinhardt is taking a little bit of damage, taking a little bit, okay, Ana, are you ready to nano me? I'm gonna charge in, boom, he gets nanoed, 300 HP, instantly healed, 50% damage reduction, and he's giving out 50% more damage also. This Reinhardt Ana combo is gonna be unstoppable if you're willing to coordinate it. The best way I can put it is that Ana's nano boost is giving all the value, all the potential into one single target. It's kind of like a 7v6 at that point because there's so much power and so much health in one hero. It's pretty much 2 in 1 hero. Where Mercy's ultimate kind of gives value at a spread out pace, and it doesn't necessarily mean that your team's not gonna die. So the best way I can determine who has the better ultimate is like, okay, well, who's giving the most amount of value? When you nano a Reinhardt, and if you work around that Reinhardt to make sure he doesn't die, most of the time people are gonna be focused on the Reinhardt and not really on your team, and you're probably gonna win the fight. Again, assuming that you can coordinate it. With Mercy, on the other hand, just because you're chain healing and chain damaging doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win the fight because they can still die. If the enemy team can get their shots on the squishy heroes, they can still die, and you can even still die as Mercy because you're flying high in the sky. Maybe a soldier uses his ultimate. Now, you do get unlimited ammo pistol, which this is the time where you might want to be a DPS Mercy. Maybe if the enemy Mercy's flying in the sky with Pharah, you can try to target that Mercy. I'm really going to give the crown here to Ana just because 300 HP, 50% damage reduction coming to you, 50, it's just so much. Mercy, chain heals, it's good. It really is good, but I really don't think it's that valuable when compared to other ultimates. So finally, let's talk about the final category, which is talking about the team composition that both of these heroes are going to excel in. And that's not to say that these heroes can excel in every single team composition, but what this video was supposed to do was try to get the most value out of both these heroes. And I said that over and over again because I want you guys to remember, every single action, you want to try to get the most value out of it. And you get the most value with Ana when you're in this giant team composition, be it a Reinhardt, a D.Va, maybe even a Doomfist, because his hitbox is so big, because you're not missing a beat with your biotic rifle. You're healing every single time, and that's the biggest difference between Ana and Mercy, is that you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, Ana's useless. Ana's completely useless because you can be consistent with Mercy's beam, but if you're able to hit these giant targets, they're able to live longer, and you can heal them way faster than Mercy ever can. Plus, your ultimate ability is going to be more utilized, assuming that you hit it on a big giant tank, whereas the faster and mobile team composition, especially with the Pharah, you're probably not going to want to play on it because it's going to be a whole lot harder to aim in the sky to hit the Pharah. Whereas with Mercy, that's just another target or another waypoint to send you to the next hero and the next hero and the next hero. So Mercy, again, faster paced heroes that have a smaller health pool is going to be valued more with Mercy because you don't need a lot of time to heal. So now we really need to answer the question, who is the better healer? Who do you want to try to play in Season 12? Well, the obvious is kind of laid out right here. If you can't hit your shots, if you don't know how to aim with Ana, do not play Ana. Just simply don't, because you'll be getting a lot more heals and just be a lot more valuable asset to the team if you're playing Mercy, because you're consistent with the heals, because you can't miss any of your heals, but you can also just be less vulnerable. Where Ana, that's her biggest downfall. She has no health regeneration and she can't run that fast. But Ana is going to be a much more valuable asset to a coordinated team. That is the biggest difference. If your team isn't coordinated, if your team isn't that great, and if you're not that great as healer, you probably want to try to play Mercy, not because it's easy, but because it's consistent. All right, Ana's inconsistent if you're not ready to handle all those things. And that is my video when discussing who is the better healer. It was a long video, but there was a lot I needed to discuss, and there's even some stuff I forgot about. But overall, Ana, really good in coordinating team compositions, and people aren't ready for the anti-grenade, but Mercy can really help the people that don't really know what they're doing, people that are out of positions that need help, or if a Pharah just needs help or a Genji needs help, she can really be there. So anyway guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.